I love Bernadette, and she's one of my dearest friends, and I've really watched her practice over more than 20 years. And I guess, I want to start from the name of this exhibition, Travelling by String, and I want to kind of talk about that a bit, not about individual pieces of work or what they might mean, but about how I viewed Bernadette as an artist over a long period of time. That's a bit better, isn't it? And, firstly I thought, when I was thinking about how I'd approach this, I thought, where do you start with Bernadette? Where do you start? Bernadette, Biscacci, Bernadette, bones, bees. And I thought I might start with the bees, In a sense, there's so much of Bernadette's work that is around bee. And when I'm here tonight, I can see so much of that. And then I thought, well, how do I make sense of this idea of her practice and the idea of weaving together threads or pieces of string or ideas or whatever that come together to make a whole? And I started to think about, well, maybe I should move to the seas. And the first thing that made sense to me was collaboration. And when I think of Bernadette as an artist, back to the A's, wrapped around the B's, I don't know an artist that is more collaborative than Bernadette. And when I think of her work over the time I've known her, 25 years, and I think of, and many of you would know too, almost all of her exhibitions have been collaborations. And I don't think anyone can understand Bernadette's art without understanding that it's essentially about collaboration. And it's as much about that process as about the things that she creates. Another seed. So what else is it that wraps around and strings and ideas and things that come together to form a tapestry around Bernadette? And as much as she is an artist, she's an activist. And I don't think you can understand Bernadette without understanding that at heart she's an activist. And when I look around this room and I think about the things that she does, and I think about things like Mundy Creek, her local work she does in terms of conservation and her activism around that, and I think about the long-standing work she's done at Kaunyama and the activism and the advocacy that she's done around that. And then I think, well, what's it all about, And I think it's about community, and it's about community building, and it's about clan, and it's about feeling part of something and connecting. And I think that, again, you can't understand Bernadette's work unless you understand it within the framework of community development and what that means to her and how that sort of, I guess, is a primary motivation for her work. Back to the A's. I was thinking, what else can I fit in here? And then I thought about alchemy. I'm starting to get a bit arty now, aren't I? But one thing I've learnt about Bernie is that, with her art, there's so much alchemy. There's so much, look at this, I went to a place once years ago when she did a similar piece. You might remember the hammock, the bone hammock. And all around her yard she had bones and she was treating them with stuff and trying to, and so there's that aspect of her work, somehow pulling things together and creating something new and magical and, so there's that. And then there's culture, back to the seas. And again, I don't think that we can understand Bernie's work without understanding her connection, deep connection to country, and deep connection to community, which is a deep connection to culture. And I think that informs all of her work. So finally, I was thinking about string and, the old thing about how long is a piece of string. And I'm thinking about, string as a continuum. And I thought I'd better say something about the art. And, and one of the things I thought was that, some of Bernie's art is around kind of community art. That's about kind of getting people together and collectively making a piece of art. And I think the piece out the front, the piece that was the beautiful basket that has recently been shown on the Strand and is out the front here is a great example of that. And then at the other end of the continuum, I think, is the more personal work that Bernie does, which is about the deep processing of the community art. And I think here tonight, that's what we have. So the last thing I want to say is congratulations, Bernie. It's an honour to be here and it's a fabulous exhibition. Thank you.